Harbor Freight's Pittsburgh low profile motorcycle dolly. Vega's dual camera action camera for your motorcycle. An eBay special center stand for Harley touring bikes. The leafy valve stem cap tire pressure monitoring system. What's up guys, welcome back to Mike It Yourself, and we're going to do a video we haven't done in a while, and that is a review of products that we've already installed on the bike, test it out and see what we thought about them. So let's jump right into the first one. First up is the Vega dual camera recording system for your motorcycle. Now, when I originally installed this, I had it on my handlebars. I've had a couple of things going on, and I decided to go ahead and just move it into my glove compartment here, and I like it. I mean, it's not a screen that I got to watch all the time, so I'm not really worried about it, and it gives me the opportunity to kind of clean up the look of my bike. So you have the options. You can mount it on your steering, on your handlebars, or you can put it in your glove compartment. This is one of those tools that I found like you don't need until you need it, right? And that is to look back at something on the video. Now you can use it as like truly an action cam where you're just recording stuff as you ride, or you can use it like a crash cam, right? You see an accident, you get an accident, because it's recording, and you can set it up both ways. Right now I have the rear camera disconnected, but you could quickly save that information and review it. If you need to pull a license plate number, you can. This is definitely a good tool to have, with the hope to never have to use it unless you're doing some cool ride videos. Let's talk the eBay special. That is our generic center stand for Harley touring bikes. Now this one is for the you know, Rushmore, I think, frames up, and it's okay guys. It's not great. I'm not going to tell you it's the best thing since sliced bread. It's nice to have the challenge, and somebody pointed this out in one of the videos. They dropped a comment in there that the Street Glide, the Road King, the Road Glide, they are already low profile. So this does add a little bit of, you know, more frame, we'll say, below, and can scrape at sometimes, depends. And now the one thing I did find is one of them, so I had two. One that I received had a bad threaded foot pad, and so they shipped me a brand new one, but the spring on it went bad, so that wasn't so great. And then I had also mentioned about being able to put my bike on the center stand and have the rear wheel lifted off, so that way you can do some, you know, good easy cleaning. You could check your tire pressure. It had some conveniences to it. So wanting to be able to do those things, I let those foot pads out as far as I could get them to go, and unfortunately it wasn't an easy thing to lift up. The little bar, let me show you here, the bar to lift the bike up with your foot is too short. Even though this looks like it gives you a decent amount of length, really you get that, and that's just not enough leverage to lift up the 850 pounds plus, depending on what all you got on your bike, easily. So unfortunately, like great suggestions I got was to put a block of wood, so that way it lifted the bike a little higher. That was before I adjusted the pads, but when you're trying to take the entire weight of the bike onto that thing, it felt stable, but man, it was really heavy and hard to push. Like, this thing is just not well designed for the bar. I'm hanging on to it because I feel like there could be future use to it, but that's always going to be the one thing that probably pushes me away from putting it on. I'll figure it out at some point. So that said, if you're in a bind and you need the ability to stand your bike up vertically for parking, and you don't have the space for, say, like a front wheel chock, this is definitely worthwhile and not too expensive on eBay. So let's talk about the Leapy tire pressure monitoring system. This is a great tool for having the ability to look at the pressure of your tires without having to get it on your hands and knees, to pull off the valve stem cap and put something on there, especially on the back of a bagger, where Lord knows why they made it so hard to get to the damn thing, right? Maybe it's a me thing, I don't know, just a pain in the butt. Anyhow, this is nice because you can crack it open really quick, see, oh, low there, get it to the appropriate pressure or whatever to your liking, right? Depends on how you like to roll, and you can get it done. There is an alert system, but it doesn't seem to work unless the app is open. So to me, that's kind of useless, other than when you open it up and you see that you're 0 PSI. Yeah, you probably figured that out when you tried to move your bike and it was hard as hell. So anyhow, it's kind of cool. Like I said, you can at least, if you have pressure, you can see how well it is. So obviously I'm running a little low on both tires. I can bring those up a little bit. The accuracy is but I'm coming to find out that all of my tire pressure tools are when it comes to accuracy. I don't know. For the couple of bucks that it ran on Amazon, I think it's worth it. All right, so our last item is kind of something new. We didn't get into the installation or putting it together. It's bolts, washers, nuts, lock washers. It's not a complicated thing to put together. I didn't feel like it was really video worthy. If you're dying to know how to put one together, just look up Harbor Freight motorcycle dolly. There's a ton of videos out there on it. The question I did have is it worthwhile? Now, I've been moving my garage around since kind of gotten moved in, trying to figure out the best way to maximize my space, because we also want to use the garage to park in sometimes. And that just means I need to be able to move these bikes around a little bit easier. So I wanted to give this thing a try. And here are my thoughts. This touts a 1,250 pound capacity. It's holding my bike, no problem. I've been on it with my bike, no problem. It is definitely long enough. It's got extra space on each side. I saw some videos of red versions of this dolly where people weren't able to add the little stopping bars to the back and front tires. I have those in place with space to spare, and I'll bring you on a little close up of that. And then the kickstand, no problem there as well. Now, the one thing I will say is a little bit of a, I don't know if you want to call it a downfall, but I just wish it, it was easier to push. So not that it's extremely difficult, but with the casters that it has on it, I mean, it's not effortless, right? So maybe that's kind of the thing I want to make sure people understand, is you're not going to just glide it across your garage floor. Depending on your garage floor, like I've got the paint chips and stuff on this one, it just doesn't roll as smooth. Maybe on a smoother surface I might do okay, but for mine, but it's not hard to push either. So it does the job. I can slide this bike away from my toolbox so I can get into the drawers, and then slide it right back when I'm done. Let's take a quick little close-up. So as I mentioned, plenty of length. So you can see I've got that stopper bar there, space in the front tire, stopper bar there, and that, I mean, that's like literally like a good, if I were to go from contact point of the tire to the bar, that's almost like a friggin' foot or something, man. It's a good distance. And then as far as the kickstand goes, so they talk about having like 3 positions to put it in. For this bike here, I had to move it to the fully forward position, and the only reason my kickstand is even towards the back side of that is because when I first rolled on, or the last time I rolled on, I should say, I wasn't sure like how far forward I was, so I still have, as you saw, the space in front. That thing could be up at least another 2 to 3 inches. So no concern there at all. Either, if you wanted to, you could even, like I said, it has 3 positions. You could actually probably do more than 3 positions, more like 6. If I moved this thing back just a little bit, it would probably fit there just fine as well. But I've got it on the most forward one. It works. I'm not, not fussing over that. And as I mentioned, it's got these casters on there. They've got dual wheels on it. So that's all the way around. You got 5 of them. 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and 1 where your kickstand goes. And I don't know, like there might not even be a good solution for something like that. Kind of like a toolbox, right? They're not known to easily move. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, like I said, I've actually got the ability to move this heavy machine around, and especially because my bikes are parked in the garage in tandem. Now, when I'm ready to take Blue out for a ride, I can scoot the road glide off to the right, roll out, come back in, push this guy back, or, you know, likewise, just roll him out. If I have the car parked in here, I can kind of shuffle things around. This gives me options. That is friggin' awesome. I just want to say a huge thanks to my son, my daughter-in-law. They bought me this sign for Christmas, probably like 2 years ago now, and I finally got around to framing it, and it looks amazing in the garage. So another level up in the Mike It Yourself garage. Cool stuff. Thank you guys. Love you guys. All right, so that's going to be a wrap for this week's video. Again, great products. They all serve their purposes. I have yet to find one that's like 100% perfect all the way around. There's always some flaw in it. It's never perfect, but all of them have typically gotten the job done. And in the case of like the Harbor Freight Dolly, even the eBay special, it got it done for a cheap job, or for a cheap price. I don't know. It depends on you. If you got the bucks, spend them on the expensive stuff. If not, you can get just as good quality tools that'll fit your need. So I hope this review video was of value to you, and I look forward to the next one. And until that one does post, I hope to see you in the wind.